Do it again. Alright. Hi, I'm Sailor Moon. Oh, and I'm Sailor Neptune. And today we're going to talk about, the true Sailor Moon fans. Or true Sailor Moon followers. Now, first off, we made this film yesterday, but then we had to go somewhere. So it got ended short than I truly wanted it to be. So anyway, true Sailor Moon followers. Now apparently there are some of these Sailor Moon followers out there on the interwebs and I guess around the world who believe that you cannot be a true Sailor Moon follower if you have watched the English one that was done by Deke and Pioneer and Cloverway. And that apparently you can't be a true Sailor Moon follower if you call them by their Latin and Greek borrowed names instead of calling them by their Japanese borrowed names, which is just dumb, A true Sailor Moon follower is anyone who follows Sailor Moon, who likes Sailor Moon, and doesn't need what kind it is. But yes, there are some Sailor Moon followers out there who believe that the true Sailor Moon followers are the ones that watch the written form. And when I mean a written form, I'm meaning, like it is. One where it's written in your speech, but it's being spoken in another speech. Yeah, I'm not making that one up. There are some Sailor Moon followers that give you shit if you watched it in English, even if that was Deke or Pioneer or Cloverway or even Viz. And the funny thing is, they're the ones that actually bitch at you for doing this are the ones that speak English too. Yeah, I'm not making that one up. Apparently, you're not a true Sailor Moon follower if you saw it in English, or you watched it in English, either be Deke or Cloverway or now Viz. Which is so funny because these folks will claim, I watched the written one. Okay, good for you then. But you're still reading it in English, right? So don't go there. And it is what it is. I mean, what do you got to say about it, Sailor Neptune? Oh, Sailor Moon, there's a lot to say about this. About, true Sailor Moon followers and stuff. About how a true Sailor Moon follower is the only one that either has only have seen it in Toei's take. The first take. Oh, and you can't be a true Sailor Moon follower if it was in English, Deke or Cloverway or now Viz, which is dumb. Oh, and if you're using the Latin and Greek borrowed names instead of the Japanese borrowed names, then it's like, just like you were talking about yesterday, like, that's right, my name's I'm Michelle and not Mecharu or whatever her name is. Oh no, you can't say that. It's like, I'm more good than you or something like that. And the truth is, they're not even any more good than anyone else, or any other Sailor Moon follower out there. They tend to believe it. It's like, but it's like, and I don't really know where this comes from, I don't know where this stems from, but hey, that's what some of them believe, but it's just dumb, just like what you said, Sailor Moon, what you said, Serena, is that if, a true Sailor Moon follower is someone who follows and likes Sailor Moon, and that's that, and you might think, that we're just making this up. No, sadly, we have come across, or we had overlapped it in the past. There were some there were some folks on YouTube who actually said that they were more good Sailor Moon followers since they saw it and they watched it in Japanese. They didn't understand the speech at all, and they had to read it in English. And say, oh, well, they were more good because they learned and they worked the Japanese borrowed names and not the Latin and Greek borrowed names or whatever, or the Roman and Greek borrowed names. Which is really dumb. Oh yeah, and getting back to that one, you're right about that one, Sailor Neptune. You're right about that, Michelle. I mean, that's what they think. They got no truth to it. And they go, oh well, I'm not making that one up. There are some out there who believe that. Not all of them, but there are some out there who believe that. They will, and where it came from, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just think, it's dumb that they would think that. Yeah, like right now, like, you talk, I talk about how I like it in English, either it was Deke or Cloverway or Viz, and apparently, I'm using the Roman and Greek borrowed names and not the Japanese borrowed names, I'm working with those, and, and you ain't a true Sailor Moon follower, because this, and that, it's like, it's sad. And it's like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. They can believe whatever they want to believe, but at the end of the day, if they like that and that's what they believe, good for them. But there's no truth to it. I think anyone who likes the English, either be Deke or Pioneer, Cloverway, or Viz, is a true Sailor Moon follower. And anyone who's either working with the Greek or Roman borrowed names is as good as someone who is working with the Japanese borrowed names when it comes to our show. So it is what it is, So I don't know where it came from. And giving you shit since you saw it in English and you watched it in English. Well, pretty much the ones that give you shit for this are the ones that speak English too. And they're going to tell you, oh, well, I saw it in the Japanese. No, you may have saw it in that. You may have heard it in that, but you read it in English. Unless you're one of those lucky ones that learned more than one speech. Then that was good for you. But that didn't make you any more good than me or anyone else out there as far as being a Sailor Moon follower went. Yeah. And once again, can I say something, Sailor Moon? Sure. Okay. Sure, Sailor Neptune. Anyway, we just want to say yesterday about we're sad for cutting that film short. We didn't want to cut it short. We had to go somewhere. I don't know why, but we had to go somewhere. It had to be in the morning, and that's when. So once again, we want to say how sad we are for whatever happened and cutting the film short. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're done with that. And yes, that really was not how we truly want to end the film. But that's how it had to be ended for that day. And how we end this now? Sure, we'll end it now. At the end of the day, it is what it is. True Sailor Moon follower, like Sailor Moon, no need what kind of it is. What it's written in, what it's spoken in, whatever, all that stuff. So that's it. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Sailor Neptune. We'll see you later.